going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me once again for another installment of Hoggie's Beer Reviews. Today we are drinking the other beer from Trogues Brewery that was sent to me by Bitter Poet Madman in a beer mail about 2 months ago. If you're watching this, then you've hopefully already seen the review for the Trogues Rugged Trail Nut Brown Ale. Now I'm getting to the second beer that I have from them, and this is their Nugget Nectar. Yeah, Nugget Nectar Imperial Amber, a beer that has a hand squeezing the juice out of a big old hot bud on the label. My kind of beer. I love hops, I love IPAs, love hoppy beers. So this is something that I've been wanting to try for quite some time. Like I said in the brown ale review, I've been wanting to get to these for some time now, but something else always comes up and they keep falling to the wayside. But now I'm finally getting around to the Trogues beers. This one on the neck of the bottle says, Hophead's Nirvana. Experience a heady trifecta of Nugget Warrior and Tomahawk hops. 93-ish IBUs. Oh yeah. It also tells you that it's 7.5 ABV and of course brewed and bottled by Trogues Brewing Company, Harrisburg, PA. Now, 7.5 Imperial Amber, 93 IBU, 93-ish IBUs, that's what they said. Punching it up on Beer Advocate, and you have to have high hopes for this beer. I'm really looking forward to this because out of 1,455 reviews currently on beeradvocate.com, this thing averages out to an A overall. So almost 1,500 people consider this an outstanding beer. That's good stuff. Of course, on here it's categorized as an American Amber or a red ale at 7.5 ABV. Now, you have to note though, this is their winter seasonal. This is a winter beer. This is not a year-round release from Trogues. So I'm hoping that I'm not too late because we're in May, mid-May, late May, whatever you want to call it. And this, you know, I can't see it in this light, but I looked at it the other day, and the brewed-on date of this beer is February, mid-February. So hopefully in 3 months the hops have not faded. Hops do not preserve well, they do not age well. The hop sharpness, presence, flavor, whatever, strength diminishes with time. So hopefully they haven't faded much and I can truly enjoy this beer as it was meant to be enjoyed. Because much like the Hop Slam that has a little guy getting crushed by a hop bud on the label, this thing has a big juicy hop getting squeezed. So I want to see if it holds up to that and is that hoppy. So we're finally breaking open the Nugget Nectar. I figured there was nothing more appropriate than my new Summit glass. This was a gift from my buddy Howard, Summit Brewing Company. This one says, and I don't know if you can make that out, but it says, beer is my life. Not quite, but close enough. He actually gave me 2 Summit glasses. The other one is for their Horizon Red Ale. I'm breaking that one in with the actual Horizon Red Ale because I've been having it on tap at Hurricane Wings for the last month or so, and that's just a really good hoppy red ale. So in lieu of that one, well, not in lieu of, because I'm going to drink that beer with that glass, I'm drinking this beer with this glass. What the hell, beer is my life. I love hops. It all kind of matches together, so let's get right to it. And once again, thanks to Chris, Bitter Poet Madman, for sending me the 2 Trogues beers. This is actually the last review of the beers he sent me. I've done them all now. This closes it off. So, with all that said, let's try some Nugget Nectar. And it's a little smoky, a little creeping smoke. Ooh, yeah. I smelled hops, so I'm happy already. It smells like a damn IPA. So let's see. Okay, for starters, it's clear. No haze, no sediment, no nothing. It is a clear beer. Not a bad thing, but just something to be noted. It's a light color. This thing, it's almost the color of a lager, man. Again, not a bad thing, but that is like a golden color. It's not even amber, it's just golden. Almost a light golden color. I wouldn't call this red by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, no, that's not red, that's golden. It's almost like a regular adjunct lager. It's darker than an adjunct lager, but not by too much. It's a golden color. but it smells like hops. Pine and grapefruit. Scratch the pine. Weed, grapefruit, pine, flowers. It's a nice hop bouquet. It's very resinous, with a hint of kind of a pineapple-y sweetness as well. Mainly citrus though. It smells like a damn IPA. This is, with this color and that hop strength just in the smell alone, this is not a red ale amber. This has to be an IPA. I mean, really. But yeah, man, that smells so good. You know, piney, grapefruity, flowery beautifulness. I'll leave it at that. You guys know I love my hops, so I'm going to get a kick out of this. I hope this is good, and I'm digging right in. This drinks like an IPA. I'm talking about a serious hop kick right up front. And then the end is puckering, bitter, resinous, and oily. I should have poured this in the IPA goblet. This goes on the list of IPAs. This is nowhere near any kind of red ale. Reminds me of the Heavy Seas, a bit of the Terrapin Consecutioner, a bit of the Islay IPA. It's in that realm. Citrusy, floral, a bit earthy, a bit thin, and it's kind of thin and fizzy, almost like a lager. It doesn't have the depth of the body that an IPA would usually have, because an IPA it's a very hoppy pale ale, and you still get the basis of kind of an English pale that's a bit buttery, you know, bready malts. This doesn't have that. This has a very light, thin body, which accounts for that light golden color that is much like a lager. Take a fizzy lager, you know, what is the Stone Brewing thing, fizzy yellow beer. Take a fizzy yellow beer and add a bunch of hops to it, and you get something like this. It is thin. The hops, I gotta admit, the hops are the only redeeming quality to this beer. For something called an imperial anything, there's not enough malt presence. There's a subtle malt presence, but it's thin, it's not very rich, it's not very complex. So there is an underlying sweetness, but again, it's like a lager. It's there, but it's still thin and watery. So the malt presence isn't heavy enough, the body isn't rich enough. You know, if it wasn't for the hops, man, this is hop juice. This is nothing else. Forget about malt, forget about, it's just hop juice. It's hop water. So I guess the label of the, you know, hop bud getting squeezed, I guess it's fitting. And, I mean, I will drink this any time of the day because I love hops, I love that bitterness, I love that resinous, oily, bitter finish. But I do want more in a beer. This is too thin for my taste. A little too thin and fizzy for the kind of beers I like. Now, I should be fair. This is not Bud Light thin. But compared to most IPAs or most red ales, it is thinner. The malt body is subtle and very uncomplicated. And it just kind of has a fizziness that reminds me of a lager. So, I mean, again, I was hoping to, you know, call this a glass full and join everybody on Beer Advocate that called it an outstanding beer and gave it an A, but I can't do it. I can't do it. This is a glass half full, a good one, and more so if you like really hoppy beers. But I cannot call this, I cannot rate this any higher because the hop combination is great. The bitterness, the hop profile, and it is kind of a complex hop flavor, so that is great. I like it. But that's all it has. That's all it has. It's not rich enough. It's too fizzy. It's leaving some nice lacing, and, you know, I don't know. I got what I wanted, and that's hops. But I didn't expect the rest of the beer to be kind of lackluster. So again, take that how you want to take it. If you're a hophead, you do need to try it anyway because the hop combination is great, and you might not mind the thinness and the fizziness like I do. For everybody else, what can I say? Try it if you come across it. It's interesting, but it's not that great, at least not in my opinion. Glass half full, and I'll leave it at that. Once again, Chris.